I am 100% pro-life. And the reason why I am 100% pro-life is that I believe that God has created every life. I believe that every life has value. And I believe if you look back at the wisdom of our founding fathers who talked about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they recognize that our lives and our rights come from our Creator. I'm willing to stand up and to fight for life, not just against the left, but also against weak establishment Republicans, which is why I called a pro-life special session. We called the politicians back from their vacations to pass pro-life legislation.
Andres, thank you. Right now, lawmakers in Missouri debating abortion laws in this state. Governor Eric Greitens called these special sessions.
After Republican Governor Eric Greitens called for a special session.
Missouri lawmakers are returning to Jeff City to talk about abortion. A special legislative session began just a few minutes ago in the state capitol. Governor Eric Greitens wants to put more restrictions on abortions in the state of Missouri.
First, you ask the question, well, why would you have to call a pro-life special session? Didn't you have supermajorities of Republicans in the House and the Senate? Couldn't they have passed pro-life legislation? And the answer is yes, they should have, but they didn't.
I felt very strongly about was that when they went into session, there was not a lot of pro-life legislation that was passed. One of the things that really impressed me about Eric was that he didn't take no for an answer. He pulled them back into special session and said, we're going to do something about this. We're not just going to let this slide. He campaigned on a pro-life issue. He campaigned that he was going to be hard on this pro-life, and he followed through.
You did call the Missouri legislator back for a special pro-life session to move this legislation forward. That's an unprecedented move. What prompted it?
Well, it was so important for us to stand up for the cause of pro-life and for us to protect these pregnancy care centers. And politicians failed to act. You know, the politicians should have done their job, but they failed to act. So I did. I canceled their vacations and I brought them back for a pro-life special session. And I'm convinced that we're going to get the job done. Together, working with millions of pro-life citizens in the state of Missouri, we were able to achieve the Missouri miracle. When I came into office, there were about 4,800 abortions a year in Missouri. Today, Missouri is the safest state in the country for the unborn.
Under Eric Greitens, some of the most pro-life legislation has been passed. And to this date, no one has ever pushed as hard as he has for the pro-life movement and for the pro-life legislation. That he was going to do what he said, and he did it.
So first, let's look back with some pride and recognize that it was millions of pro-life citizens around the state of Missouri who kept standing up and made sure that we got this done. And if we recognize that the people who are out there on the front lines, the people who are praying, the people engaged in pregnancy care centers, the people who are talking with women in difficult situations, talking to them with love and with clarity and with compassion, the people who led this movement together, let's recognize that we can do more.
Under Eric Greitens' leadership, we were able to achieve the Missouri miracle. And that is what we want to achieve across the nation, is for it to become the American miracle.
What happened in Missouri, the miracle we created here, we can now make an American.